Hello, what is up guys? EvilDoUsHarm here today, back with another Blade and Soul video. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the full patch notes for the Storm of Arrows update that is coming tomorrow, September 18th. Now, if you want to, you can watch the full-on live stream. You can read through the patch notes themselves. I'll have the link to them in the description below. But I'm going to give you the super abbreviated TLDR version because there's no way you want to read through all of this on your own. I didn't even want to read through all of that on my own. And the live stream itself is like an hour long. So if you want the short version, you're going to want to watch this video. Anyway, real quick before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, new to Blade and Soul, please consider subscribing. Got a lot of Blade and Soul videos on the channel. It really helped to grow the channel. And at 20,000 subscribers, I'm dyeing my hair neon green. At any rate, let's get into it, and let's get started with the content of the update. So, as you probably know, the Archer is coming tomorrow. We have the Archer class being released. New legendary weapons, the Thornbreaker tier and the subsequent PvE tier that you can upgrade into to get to that Thornbreaker tier are available at the next patch. We're getting a new dungeon and a raid. We'll get into more of those in a little bit. So we get to our first big thing that's pissing off the community. We have the daily challenge changes to the game, as well as the subsequent removal of normal mode and introduction of easy mode only for these dungeons. So when I say easy mode only, there is hard mode available for some of these dungeons. Don't get super nervous yet, but still normal mode is going bye-bye. Anyway, the daily challenge is being changed so that you need to complete an additional number of dungeons each day to get the rewards that we were already getting. Additionally, the rewards for the dungeons themselves has been decreased, and the difficulty of the dungeons that you need to be completing is increased from your previous dungeons. We've gotten rid of the Celestial Basin quick daily that you could do. Some other changes like Narya Sanctum is no longer in the rotation. So some changes to these dungeons, making it more difficult to complete as a newer player, as well as more time consuming to complete for a normal player. So what am I talking about here with the actual time consumption? So, previously, for completing the 3 daily challenges, you got the daily challenge reward. That has been pushed to completing 4 daily challenges, so you need to do 4 of the daily quests. And once again, your super quick one, Celestial Basin, is no longer there, so expect an additional amount of time to complete this every day. For completing 2 challenges, you're going to get a 5 gold chest that gives you some items, so that's pretty cool, I guess, for just doing 2 challenges. Your 3 challenge complete, 3 daily quests complete, gives you a Radiant Reward chest, which is only available for this update. For the next month, it's basically the event item or the event thing that we're typically used to seeing at the 4 slot. So the 3 and the 4 slot switched for this little update patch here. Additionally, if you go on to 6, you go get the rewards that we were getting for the 5 completion. You get the Splendor Stone chest at 6 daily challenges complete instead of 5. And then if you complete 8 daily challenges, you're going to get Elder Scale Fragments times 3. So what is your TLDR on this? New players are going to have a terrible time getting into these dungeons. Now, I do know that there's an easy mode, and it's being made easier and more accessible for a new player to get into. But easy mode doesn't translate to easy matchmaking whatsoever. With the addition of easy mode, you're just going to have more people that want to clear it even faster. Really going to make it difficult for new players to get in on these dungeons. Additionally, the gear changes that come later on in this patch, then we'll get into it, don't really take you to the gear that you even need to be able to do these dungeons. It takes you up to like maybe Sandstorm Temple at the most with what they're giving you, and that's on a good day. So at the most, you'll be able to do 3 of the 8. Some days you'll be able to do 4 of the 8. And as you know, 3 out of 8 now doesn't give you the normal daily challenge rewards. So a new player can't even do the daily challenge most days. Really kind of a bonkers change in my mind. Go ahead and tell me I'm an idiot in the comment section below. But anyway, we're going to keep going on with this. You can make your own opinion. It just has pictures of what's included within the boxes. It's the same stuff we're used to normally seeing for our typical daily challenge completions. There's a new weekly challenge for completing certain dungeons being added to the list if you want to complete your weekly challenge. And I was reviewing my rant notes and forgot to mention this one as well. So because as a more geared player, if you want to upgrade your weapon up the new PvE path, where is this thing? Here it is, the Elder Scale Fragments. If you want to upgrade the new PvE path, you need to get a boatload of these Elder Scale Fragments. We're talking literal like days of your lifetime grinding endgame dungeons to get these Scale Fragments. So the fact that they added it in as an 8 dungeon reward is really catering towards a more geared player. But it means that same more geared player can't run these things on their alts. So typically if you ask a geared player how they've been making their forges, how they've been gearing up quickly, it's through the use of running multiple alts across their days, running the daily challenges. It helps them to amass materials really quickly without having to invest too much time. Because they've shifted everything up and they've added this here, it's really pushing people away from running multiple characters or having multiple alts on their account that they run every single day. You're looking at like 2 hours to be able to do all of these challenges on any given day. It's an amazing amount of time to have to spend to get some Elder Scale Fragments that you need an absolute crapload of. So this next chunk of information are all the achievements that are added with the Archer, so all the different Soul Shield collection achievements that you get on the Archer class, if you wanted to pick those up. Only really applies to you if you're playing this the Archer, and if you want to complete achievements don't really matter anymore. The achievement merchant isn't exclusive, so no reason to even go for them. At any rate, We have new collections added as well for the birds, which is going to give you some attack power, some critical damage, and HP. And then there's the Feeling Foxy achievement collection, which is an absolute waste of money. If you collect all 3 versions of the fox, you get a Sacred Vial and a pet pack. This Feeling Foxy pet is the event pet that you get right now, and you could get way more Sacred Vials and pet packs just buying the Sacred Vials and pet packs than buying the pet. So unless you absolutely love Sesame the Fox, absolutely no reason to go for that. New side quest, Echoes of Song, is being added. You get an extra gold 50 for completing this. I don't really know why that's important. So the Know Thine Enemy quest lines and the Raid quest lines have been updated for newer players to help them gear up a little bit better. Get a Mystic Badge and a Soul Badge for completion, not the Legendary Mystic Badge, just a regular Mystic Badge, not a Fused Soul Badge, just a regular Soul Badge. You're also going to get your Naryu Sanctum Bracelet for completing this. So this is going to give you a solid amount of gear, but like I said, it's nowhere near enough to be able to do the new daily dungeons that have been added, unless easy mode literally makes it so you can just bang your head against the keyboard and you can do the dungeon. That took me way too long to recover from. Anyway, so the Beast Bog Field Boss Bailey, if you've never even done this before, it was a great way to farm Evolve Stones, so you could get free money just for clicking some buttons and killing her. Super easy to kill. No more Evolve Stones, major source of Evolve Stones leaving the game. Cool. Getting new hairstyles for males and females in the game, as well as some new ear and tail styles for rats. So if you play as a rat, yay. Unity systems being updated, covered this in another video. Link to that video is in the description below. Caps being raised from 120 to 150. You're getting new tier of stones. They have something bolded right here, which is usually a way of saying, if you screw this up, we're not going to support you in our support tickets. So it's dealing with the upgrades of your current evolved stones and, you know, really doesn't apply to too much of the player base. But if you do have the super high tiered ones and you start fusing them, they have a chance to just fuse into the same tier as opposed to upgrading in a guarantee, even though the UI says it's going to guarantee. So be wary of that. You might not get what you think you're going to get. So something to keep an eye on. I'll highlight it like 6 more times before I continue to slide down the page because it's important and I want to make sure you know about it and it's important. Okay, so new event, Radiant Challenge. Covered this multiple times. Radiant Challenge event, I have an own separate video about it. You get about 300 of the Radiant currencies from this event. Great way to improve your heart and soul because it reduces the cost by about 50%. You can get 35 upgrades, which is more than enough to cover your entire upgrading path as far as the event will take you. So great way to upgrade those. It's actually a really strong event. I'm pretty happy with this event, especially for a newer player. It'll help you to gear up a little bit. But if you want more information about this, go ahead and check out the other video. Link is in the description below. Alright, so now we have a pretty big one. The PvE and PvP damages for different skills are being separated in order to help balance PvP a little bit. This might be because if you look at the NA version, the top 10 is currently filled by the same dude on 6 different alts. Like, that makes a lot of sense. That's totally real. And they're all Blade Masters. He literally has 6 of the same character just to go ahead and beat everybody down. So, yeah, that's probably what this is for. Sorry, Ulis. You probably don't watch my videos. You probably think I'm a loser. Anyway, all the classes are getting that separation done to them, and then there's some nerfs and buffs happening to all the different classes. I went through and read through on my own and have my own interpretation of what it does to the class. I wrote it down on my phone, so I'm just going to read it off my phone before I forget. Alright, Destroyer, you got a PvP nerf because your knee got changed. Assassin, some bug fixes make you a little bit easier to play, so slight buff. Warden, same thing, slight buff through some bug fixes. Blade Master, buff through some bug fixes and some changes to how skills work. However, there is a change of cooldown on Divine Retribution. I don't know how much that actually impacts the class in PvP and PvE because I don't play Blade Master, so it might be a nerf if that is pretty bad. Changes the cooldown to 6 seconds, so Divine Retribution. Warlock's getting a slight buff through bug fixes. Gunslinger's getting a slight nerf through bug fixes because we totally needed to nerf the Gunslinger. It was already doing like one of the best in the entire game. It was like definitely the best class in the entire game. Totally should play it. Blade Dancer got a lot of buffs through its animation canceling. Also, some damages are increased. You get guaranteed damage even if a thing evades your attack. Kind of weird, but hey, that's pretty cool. Summoner, no really changes. It doesn't do anything, just some bug fixes. And that's it for the different classes that are getting buffs and nerfs. Of course, I could be wrong because I don't play all those classes. That's just how I interpret it. Alright, now we get into the next thing that's pissing everyone off. Easy mode. So, easy mode being added to the game. What does easy mode even frickin' do? Easy mode makes the bosses have less HP, increases your defense, lowers the rewards from the dungeon. The new raid has the Celestial Emperor Earring and Ring as a possible reward, which is pretty cool. Just want to make sure I throw that out. But back into the easy mode bit here, all of the dungeons, if I can scroll down and find this table, here it is, just about every single dungeon in the game. Like literally you can go down this list and see just about everything in the game, every single quest you have for those dungeons. The cost is reduced by about 50% across the board for the lower tiered stuff. You move your way up a little bit further and it goes to like maybe a 60% equivalency, then like 75, until you get to the point where it's about 75 pretty flat. So across the board, 50, 45, 40%, somewhere in that region, reduction on the total gold income because of this easy mode change. A lot of rewards have been changed, so Iron Tech Forge, Ebon Drake Lair no longer drop Divine Grey Stones. So that's a really big one. Also, the chance for Brute Chamber and Warp Citadel to drop Sacred Vials and Pet Packs has also been removed, another big change. And that's pretty much all that's going on with the dungeons, so, leave your own angry opinions down in the comment section below. Some items are being changed to account bound. This is actually a pretty cool change. Grand Celestial Steel, Grand Celestial Wings, Onyx Scales, Onyx Scale Fragments. So higher tiered players can go ahead and trade those items over and start gearing alts if you have time to play your alts with the new changes to dungeons. Already talked about the weapon. There's a new bracelet. Have a separate video on this as well. Link to that's in the description below. Then we get into the bit about the pet. So we do have new pet aura tier coming, the Omega pet tier. Pet aura costs are being shifted based on the change. You're going to have your old Hogmoon pet that you currently have. You're going to be able to exchange it for the new Hogmoon pet. So on patch day, what you want to do is hop into the game, go into your inventory, click on your pet with a little right click. It's going to pop up in the exchange antiques option down below. You'll be able to exchange it for the new pet aura that's available now. Your pet auras are going to have the opportunity to have gems socketed into them, so you can socket your pet. You'll need to unlock the gem slots using legendary gem hammers. You'll need 65 of them to go all the way to the top tier. There's a table for it. It's 5, then 15, and then 45 to make that upgrade. There it is. 5 gem hammers, 15, and then 45 legendary gem hammers. The gems themselves can be transmuted for the prices that you see on the screen right now, so I'll leave that up here for a few seconds if you want to take a look. And oh yeah, there's going to be a trove. And that is basically it for the patch, guys. That's all the notes. So here's your little summary, your TLDR version with Levi if you want the Ultra TLDR. Archer is here. Dungeons are nerfed. Nerfed the gold income from all sources. Daily challenge nerfed by making you take more time to complete it. Slight balance tweaks to classes overall. There's going to be a great event if you want to upgrade your soul and heart. A new pet tier as well as gems for that pet are going to be added into the game. And of course, there is a trove. Anyway, guys, if you did like this video, if it does help you give you an idea of what's coming out on patch day tomorrow, please leave a like. Check out some of the other videos on the channel. Got a lot of videos. Make sure you tune into my live stream tomorrow. I will be playing the Archer, trying to level it up with everybody else, fighting through the areas. So if you want to see how the Archer plays, feel free to tune in that live stream. Ask me anything you want in there. Make sure you leave your comments in the comment section below if you think I got something wrong, how you feel about this patch. Feedback is always good. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the next stream, video, or wherever I happen to see you. Peace.